Hey everyone, Chloe here, and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to this feminine space. And if you are new here, ladies and lurkers and ear hustlers, welcome. Now, I wanted to have a further discussion because we've already started discussing this topic over at the Hive. And shout out to the Hive and to the new feminine school members because I adore you guys and you guys always bring it in the comments. But from a feminine perspective, I wanted to unpack and to have a very necessary conversation behind this very unfortunate viral situation of a professionally licensed therapist who goes by the TikTok handle of Unusually Bree, who was fired from her place of employment and where she, in her words, was doxxed by a black woman and wholesale canceled by incels and by the black men of the red pill community that she was trying to appeal to for attempting to deliver correction on the overall state of their emotional intelligence or their lack thereof. But before we get into the commentary and for a little bit of backstory, and for those of you who don't know, take a listen.
Well, hello. It's your friendly neighborhood therapist who thought she could save these hoes, but got her job terminated as a result. Story time? I think yes. Shit you not, I posted a video on Monday telling men that their dusty behavior is only harming them and that they would benefit from emotional intelligence, and I shit you not, by Friday, didn't have employment. All of this started with a Psychology Today article stating that men are lonelier than ever because they have no fucking emotional skills. And I agreed and doubled down and told y'all that y'all lives would radically improve if you expanded the shit that came out your mouth. But instead of healing, y'all will do anything but that. Instead of being accountable like, hey, this bitch see me, and stirred a little bit, y'all got so hurt that you contacted Massa. That's exactly what happened. So first the post goes viral on Twitter, cause y'all need fucking help. And y'all wanted to argue with bitches blue till they fucking blue in the face. Some of you hoes is not gonna be saved. And that's the conclusion that I've come to. So because this shit's gone viral, I'm thinking, okay, cool, we starting a discussion on mental health and people are, you might not like my fucking delivery, but motherfuckers is starting to talk, shaking the tables, I don't give a fuck. But then it turns into this entire crusade of attacking a black woman who serves the fucking black community. There were comments like, I'm gonna find her credentials and report her, cause I told y'all to be better? Yeah, y'all are fucking weird. Y'all scream that y'all want to protect women, protect black women specifically, but have done nothing to protect this black woman who has been serving the communities. I have been violated in several areas, and I'm gonna outline each one. This article was written by a fucking black woman, putting my full government and my place of employment. So being doxxed by a black woman, can't fake, kinda fucking hurts, and she never once reached out to me or contacted me so I could spend my side of the story. This is the article that spooked my fucking job and got me fired. Not only did she not have any regard for my safety, many other articles have been written as a result.
Now, I like to joke around a lot, but on the serious side, and I say this with love because I believe in my heart that this woman absolutely meant well. But this situation is the perfect opportunity to unpack this misplaced protectionism and the well-oiled martyr superhero syndrome that a lot of black women are highly, highly, highly addicted to because for so long, it has been such an effective way for black women to gain notoriety, to garner visibility, and in a lot of ways has been an effective strategy in getting black men to pay attention to them. And in many ways, black women have always been engineered to sacrifice themselves and to step into their masculine for the greater good at the cost and at the expense of their well-being, and more importantly, at the cost of their softness, their fragility, and their femininity. And for those of you who don't know what protectionism, which is a stronghold in the black community and even in some other cultures like Italian culture, and it is a form of gender coddling, pampering, spoiling, pedestalizing, babying, excuse making, deflecting, or a cultural brand of blame shifting, or a brand of cognitive dissonance that is generationally practiced by Black women, both young and mature. Now, before you she-hulking keyboard warriors come for me, no, every woman does not want to be feminine, and no, there is absolutely nothing wrong with social justice or community service or with wanting to help the invisible or the underserved. And there is nothing wrong with educating others or with sharing messages of hope, inspiration, or even a call to action. These humanitarian actions, in and of itself, are not masculine. What is masculine, however, is trying to force feed healing down a person's throat, especially when they never asked you to heal them in the first place. And especially when you are inclined to deliver your savior's message with hostility and aggression and low vibrational language, as those energies will not make anyone feel safe and are more likely to put a man on the defense than they will be viewed and appreciated as coming from a place of love. Because like I always say on this channel, ladies, that it isn't only what you say, it is how you say it, and it is your delivery. Which brings me to the topic of professionalism. Ladies, there is a very thin line between being an attention-seeking content creator and being a consummate professional. And when those lines are blurred, you'll find out soon enough what will happen to your reputation when your Rough Rider ego is hopped up on steroids. So ladies, you have got to learn the game, and you have got to stop playing to lose by playing with your livelihood, because the underserved men who you are going to bat for more than likely cannot pay your bills, and they certainly cannot give you a job. Ladies, when you martyr yourself and you brand yourself as a rescuer, very few men will be grateful, and many will instead resent you. And many will go out of their way to humiliate you and to chastise you for highlighting their struggles and for putting their insecurities out on Front Street. Often when we are trying to help someone, you really don't know the extent of their issues. And the issues that both Black men and Black women are struggling with are issues that run deep and cannot be fixed or repaired with shaming or bullying or with a TikTok speech. And from a feminine perspective and from a mating game perspective, and a lot of you crunchy wigs are not going to want to hear this, but this unhinged, aggressive behavior is most certainly not attractive. It's unflattering, it's unladylike, and it is quite anti-seductive to any race or class of men. Finger wagging at men of any color does not inspire men to be more masculine. Quite honestly, it just makes them hate you for trying to backlead and control them. So our best and our most effective recourse as women is to fix ourselves and to be the change that we want to see, so that we can attract the type of men or the type of clients that we truly desire, as opposed to over investing in trying to shame or trying to fix red-pilled, broken basement critters who aren't changing for anyone. So now, as it stands, Miss Brie Mayweather's reputation is mangled, as she has to repair a lot of the collateral damage from the virility of this story. And now she is on the unemployment line for what? Ladies, you can bring a horse to water, but you cannot make them drink. And you cannot grab a man by the hair and then ram his head into a wall and then go, see, I'm trying to help you. You being the aggressor will only make you look like a codependent nutcase. And as a person who has serious control issues, and I've talked about this on my channel many times before, but a woman will often either be perceived as mainly a lover or a fighter. And fighters will often engage with the world from a very unhealed, defensive stance and from an emotionally damaged place that comes from carrying a deeply wounded inner child. The aggression, the forcefulness, the combativeness are all signs of the wounded feminine in operation, but unfortunately, people will not see the fighter's pain, but they will instead see and treat her like a stereotype. Now, in reference to this so-called study that is currently floating around, yes, many men are emotionally underdeveloped, and arrested development isn't anything new. But I don't need a study to know that indeed, many men are deeply lonely, as the proof of radicalized men who are really struggling with their manhood is all around us. And some feathers may be ruffled to hear this, but it has never been a woman's place to teach a man how to become a better man, especially if that man isn't her child. And even after the age of 13, most boys won't even listen to their mothers. They'll just tune them out because their wiring and their hormonal changes are compelling them to assert their manhood, which is why so many single mothers are in desperate need of male mentors for their children, because a mother's lecturing will literally turn into Charlie Brown speak after a certain age. Ladies, always keep in mind that a woman cannot teach a man how to become effective in his masculinity, just like a man cannot teach a woman how to become effective in her softness and in her feminine. So ladies, please stop turning yourselves into She-Hulks for attention, because it causes more harm and more damage to you in the long run. And most men will not have the capacity or the bandwidth to appreciate your efforts. And I've noticed, in my opinion, that becoming a surrogate for masculinity tends to particularly happen with unhealed, fatherless daughters, who in a very weird way are trying to get their needs met by trying to role reverse or by trying to rearrange reality so that in a backhanded kind of way, they can be rescued by the masculine divine. But in the red pill community and the femcel community, those people in general do not want to hear self-improvement. These people have a strong invested interest in looking for a crusader or a leader who will give them the permission to blame everyone else. The real truth is that most people get up from the table when they're full, and that everybody cannot be saved, and that everybody doesn't want to be saved. And I know that this is a tough pill for a lot of community capers to swallow, but people will evolve and grow on their own time, and when they dang well please, and not a minute sooner. And I've seen it with my own very eyes, as there are women who first hated this channel, and then 3 years later, they lived a little, and now they're spinning the block on this channel, and now they are ready to soak up all of this free game. Because as the saying goes, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So that is all that I have to say on this for now, ladies, and I want you to listen carefully. When very grown people are comfortable in their dysfunction, you gotta leave them be and rescue yourself, because life will always be the poor decision maker's best teacher. And in my feminine opinion, Miss Unusually Bree needs to dial it back. She needs to get information with her professionalism, and she needs to focus on her unmet needs, because even therapists need therapy. So ladies and lurkers, to get this conversation started, is trying to save a man a battle worth fighting for? And can a woman teach a man how to come to her rescue? And finally, can you save a person who doesn't want to be saved? And as always, stay tuned for more cautionary tales to come, and I will catch up with you ladies and lurkers and ear hustlers in the next one.